Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our F1 23 driver career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we have round 4 coming to you with Bahrain, the Middle East swing on the way with Bahrain, and then going back to back with Qatar. But we had an important meeting this weekend with the Formula 2 team High Tech, as we are looking to expand into an ownership role into Formula 2. Let's take a brief listen.
Thanks for taking the time to meet with us, Gary. I understand that you want to expand into ownership into Formula 2, and I think we could be a good fit for this to happen. We are willing to offer you 49% ownership, insights on the team and direction, and of course part the naming rights of the team. What do you say?
I love it. Where do I sign? And there you have it. We have signed a deal to become part owner of High Tech GP in Formula 2, and an official announcement will not be today. There will be a whole reveal, but this is all for not this season. It's going to be going into season 7 of this career mode, but like I said, there will be a reveal coming soon, team name as well as livery and whatnot. So stay tuned on that. But yeah, we've signed the contract already. We are going to be part owner with High Tech GP, and going into the future, it's going to be very exciting for the final couple seasons of this career mode. This is an idea I want to really expand upon in F1 24, and we're kind of using this as a trial run to kind of see how it goes and then expand on it going into the next game. I'll say there's quite a few things that I'm kind of having some ideas of that I'm trying to save for F1 24 when that comes out. The rumor is it's coming out late May right now, so yeah, there's some ideas like this one as well that I'm kind of saving in my back pocket to really push in that next game. Of course, we still have to wait to see what the next game is going to have, but rolling into round 4 this weekend here, qualifying set to get underway Saturday night, and we are coming off of 2 back-to-back non-podium finishes after opening up the season with a win in Silverstone. We have seen the continuous struggles for Alex Albon. Last episode in Netherlands, he finally found some pace, but he ran into some bad luck with George Russell having a lockup on his inside in the banked curve or hairpin, and that led to some damage to him. Q1, P9 was pretty happy with the pace there. Joe, as well as Vips, Sato, Vesti, and Sonoda out. So both Lotus cars and both Williams Lamborghini cars out in Q1. Q2 here now underway. Pretty simple for us. The more I race Bahrain over the years, surprisingly, I start to actually like this circuit, and I never thought that was going to happen. I never enjoyed racing this circuit when I was younger. Now that I'm growing old, 23 years old, that's really scary to think about. But yeah, I mean, I'm actually starting to like driving this track in a game. But we would go P7 here in Q2. Calimere out with her teammate of Duin, the Andretti pair of Gasly and Lawson out, and the lone BMW in Q2. Esteban Ocon out, as well as BMW has finally gone a weekend without receiving some penalty points to one of their drivers. Q3 underway here and now, and you can already see everyone had been done making their laps, and it was actually McLaren up there 1-2 with Albon and Aiden Jackson. The question is, can we get up there? We were P9 in Q1, P7 in Q2. What can we put up on the board here in Q3? I was pretty happy with how the lap was going, but it would end up turning out to not be quite as fast as I expected. We were P10, 4.5 tenths off. So going for a second lap, I wouldn't really find a whole lot of improvement, not even a full tenth by the time we come back around to turn 10, but this is where I'd make a big gain right here. As you can see now, over 2 tenths of improvement through turn 10, and I would carry that through into the rest of this lap and gain a little bit more time, lose a little bit in the final turn, and it's going to equal out to about 3 tenths of a second gain here, a little bit over as we're going to cross the line, but it's still only P10, so after Q1 and Q2 looking decent, it's only P10, although it's really not that bad, for nearly 5 tenths of a second off. But it's Albon, Jackson, McLaren front row lockout with the Mercedes duo just behind Piastri P5. Let's go racing Sunday night. I have some confidence today.
We're here again then at a circuit famous for its stunning visuals and thrilling battles for glory. Who will take the spotlight in the Bahrain Grand Prix today? Formula 1 returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities, and it could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakhir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. What a great lap from Alexander Albon yesterday. He'll start from pole position. And it's Aiden Jackson alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Oscar Piastri, Hamilton, Drugovich, Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc, Golden Boy, Mayer, Doohan, Gasly, Liam Lawson, Ocon, Joe, Yuri Vips, Sato, Sonoda, and Frederick Vesti. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. It's race day yet again, and joining me for a chat is Anthony Davidson. And our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching out for as they head into turn 1?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get off to a clean start, and this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space, and finding your braking point into turn 1 as well. It's a testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more incidents.
I genuinely think we can put up a very strong effort here tonight. We're going to be doing softs to mediums, as we have done that every race except the season opener where Silverstone, the mediums were the option. Or we did try that actually in Austria as well. Let's get ready to race. Formation lap underway.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out.
Everybody but 2 drivers on softs. Verstappen and Zhou elect to go on the mediums.
We're almost ready to start the race as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
Alright team, thanks for the hard work this weekend. I have confidence tonight under the lights. Let's go get ourselves at least a podium.
I like it. We know our race pace is better than qualifying. Show them up tonight.
Ready to roll here from Bahrain. Now, in the last 2 rounds, our teammate Felipe Drugovich has gotten the best of us with a win in Austria, a podium last round in Netherlands, while we just did not have the pace in either race to really replicate what he was putting up here. The Brazilian, 2 wins in the last handful of races, including that season finale in Brazil in Season 5. We're ready to go racing. It's 5 red lights, and it's going to be lights out. We're racing here for round number 4 in Bahrain. It's a great start for Drugovich as well. Norris down the order, and you can see Leclerc, a good launch as well, but he's got nowhere to go, and kind of same for me. We're going to settle in right here alongside Max Verstappen, 3 wide up front and side by side for the lead. As you can see, Drugovich has gone through, and now Jackson has gone from 2nd to down a few positions, while Russell has gone up to 2nd place. Albon maintains the lead. Hamilton settles into P3. Are we finally seeing Hamilton getting the elbows out tonight? I just want to give a big shout out to Eric in the comments, who's always, every episode, posting the actual versus stats between Hamilton and Verstappen. It's things like that that I really enjoy in the comments, and I'm actually looking at how we can incorporate that in the future of this career mode, almost like a reporter segment or something of these episodes. I think would be really cool here. Now, focusing in on turn number 10, right to the back of the Trackhouse machine of Oscar Piastri there now, and I can already feel the race pace in this car significantly better. I mean, our race pace, ever since we've come to Ferrari, and really in the game in general, your race pace is usually better than qualifying pace, but I really felt like when we went to Red Bull, it really started to showcase itself that we got a lot more race pace in this car, and Drugovich is showing it as well. I mean, he was already gaining a few positions. He's up to P4 behind Lewis Hamilton in that 3rd spot. Verstappen down in 9th. Callie Mayer currently runs in the 10th position after Norris's horrendous start. Lap 3 DRS enabled, and we are putting pressure on the back of the Australian. Now Piastri goes defensive. I'm going to swing around the outside. Thank you very much. We're going to take the position. We get the grip. We got the power, and ahead we go now into the 7th spot. So started P10 up to P7 on the first half a lap of 3. Now, as we now focus in on closing in on that Monaco-based driver, Charles Leclerc. He's behind Aiden Jackson in the McLaren Toyota. McLaren Toyota not been a great start to the season. We've highlighted it, especially for Alex Albon. Jackson's been faring better, although he's had his own issues as well. But Albon's had the most. But Albon's out to a 1.5 second lead. Pressure for 3rd. Now Drugovich trying to go the long way around Hamilton here to put himself on the podium paying positions. Hamilton stays ahead. He's not giving it up easy, but Drugovich still has DRS. He has another run. This time he'll go up the inside here on towards the right-hander. Who's going to come out of this corner first now? And it's going to be Drugovich. Hamilton just can't quite get the power down. And there goes Felipe into the 3rd position again, putting the pressure on me here. My teammate's driving away. I need to to get up there and follow through as we continue to run P7. But we were running down Charles Leclerc. Now is getting ready to try and set him up for a move, just like we did on his teammate Piastri. Look at how much we close in on the braking zone here to Leclerc, and we would stay right on him through the next couple of corners to set him up for the exact same corner we passed his teammate through a few laps ago. Same exact scenario, deja vu. I mean, we're going to go around the outside again. Same situation. We passed Charles Leclerc, another position gained. P6 now. Aiden Jackson, you're up next in that 5th spot. Albon running away, and he's starting to showcase that, previous form that we expect from him. He's been getting stronger every round this season, which is not surprising. We know Albon gets really good as the season's gone. He's proven that in the last 2 seasons as he's become the 2-time defending champion. Yellow flags in front of us. It's the Mercedes of George Russell with an apparent mechanical failure.
Are you f***ing kidding me, guys? The engine is gone.
All right, Russell's lost his engine. He's out of the race.
Couldn't we just tell him to go find it? I thought that was a good joke. Anyways, we continue on. Russell out. That's the battle of the Red Bull and Mercedes energy drinks, now hitting a low for Russell there after the success in the last episode in Zandvoort, getting his first win of the season. Right to the back of Jackson now, as you can see him slipping and sliding around here. Now the grip is seeming to be favoring this Red Bull machine. Drugovich has driven away from Hamilton, who runs in 3rd now, but we are all over the back of Aiden Jackson. On the run towards turn 1, we're going to swing to the left. Look at the braking power on this Red Bull. We'll get alongside, go the long way around. We should be able to get clear. Yes, we will. Into 4th place, Lewis Hamilton up next in the Ferrari. Can we go in and get the position and put both Red Bull cars on the podium for what would be, I think, the first time this season, as that would be a great thing, a great showcase of what this team is really capable of here. Now, as we come through turn 10, you can just see closing in on the back of Lewis as the pace continues to really be excelling here in this Red Bull machine. Now, coming to lap 9, still a lot of racing to go. Yellow flags in the back. Hold on, we've got a big pile up. Both the Andretti cars, Gasly and Lawson, have crashed, and that might bring out a red flag. Yes, it will. Red flag in Bahrain, the first time this season. Usually we see 1 or 2, and the first one will strike here in Bahrain due to what was looking to be a self-spin from Pierre Gasly. Let's get another look at it to verify, and that's exactly what it was. Gasly all on his own, running 12th, and unfortunately both Andretti cars out there, and it looks like maybe Sato, the rookie there in the Lotus, maybe got a piece of it. Hard to tell, but that's going to put 3 cars out of the race now, 2 in that one incident, with Russell being the other one with the mechanical failure. That's going to make it really easy. We don't have to pit for the rest of the Grand Prix. We're going to hop on to the medium compound tire and quite simply go to the end of the race. Now, if you started on the mediums like a Max Verstappen, you're going to have to now go to the hards and try to go to the end as we get ready for the restart here from P4, looking for a good launch, and so is Drugovich. We could both maybe get Albon into turn 1. It's going to be lights out for the second time tonight in Bahrain. I get the best start of anybody here. Everyone's slow. We breeze past our teammate, who fades in the background under attack from both Ferraris. Verstappen with an extremely exceptional start. Albon locks up the right front into turn 1, leaves the door open, but he's able to stay ahead. But Max Verstappen goes through into 4th now, as Drugovich goes from 2nd down to 5th position. Perfect for me, but what a start there from the Dutchman on the harder compound tire. As you can see in the background, everyone battling it out here now. Norris only in P10, Jack Doohan, Marino Sato in the Lotus, looking for his first points as a rookie, trying to score, of course, Lotus's first points since their return to Formula 1. And there's Yuri Vips, his fellow rookie teammate there in the Lotus, alongside Yuki Tsunoda there in that BMW. Hearing some news, by the way, as well, that BMW is going to have maybe some news of their own coming soon in this career mode. And weirdly enough, it's been linked to Andretti, who's currently with Cadillac, but we'll stay tuned on that one now as we continue on, trying to close in now on Albon. Things have settled in. Hamilton 3rd, Verstappen 4th, Drugovich 5th, but he's on the mediums. He's got more pace than Verstappen does, and he would start to put that to relatively quick work here now as we come through to lap 14, and he had already gotten past Max Verstappen. The gap between myself and Albon, 1.4, 1.5 seconds, kind of hovering around that area right now. I was trying really hard to close in on him, but it was quite tricky. Albon setting a really good pace. He is really on it here tonight in Bahrain, really trying to make a statement now, as actually Jack Doohan now coming into the pits, and it's just for tires. He was on softs, he went on the mediums, so Maybe he didn't pit for some reason, or put on a new set of tires, I should say, under the red flag, because I was originally thinking there was maybe a front wing replacement, but nothing at all. So he's way off the pace, or off the pack of cars, as Conesport continues to have some early season struggles here. Still, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6 seconds that were floating in that area to Albon on has become to lap 16, approaching the next few laps. Dragovic had been putting some pressure on Hamilton, and he would pass him. Dragovic gets through into P3. Two Red Bulls on the podium chasing the McLaren Toyota as they seek their first win with that new partnership, but the gap to Albon is starting to come down. 1.3 seconds now between himself and I. We have a little over 10 laps to go in this race. Plenty of time. All we need to do is get in the DRS and it's game on. And speaking of the DRS, not quite there yet, but look at this now. We continue approaching lap 19, 1.2, 1.1 second area. We are making some gains on him through the final turn. I mean, you can see we have got some pace that's really kicking off in this Red Bull. Albon starting to fade. Zach Brown would let him know about it.
Okay, Alex, I need more from you here. He's catching you.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
I'm trying, says Albon, and now, maybe trying too hard, he's gone around immediately. Alex Albon self-spin, and the downfall continues. Safety car is going to get deployed very quickly, and Albon's actually going to get disqualified for being stopped stationary for that long. Oh my goodness, how things have suddenly changed, and now we are in perfect position to win in Bahrain. Wow, Alex Albon, what's going on with the two-time champ? I mean, it's not good. That his best finish of the season is going to be still 9th place after that. Safety car comes out at a weird time right when we usually go through the grid, so we're not going to have through the grid today because of the timing of the safety car. Wow. Albon out. Marino Santo moves into the points, and his teammate for Lotus, Yuri Vips, just behind, so there's a good chance Lotus scores some points with their rookie pairing here tonight under the lights in Bahrain. But my goodness, we're going to be in control then for the restart. Less than 10 to go. Once we cross the stripe, we are the control car. We're going to go right now, and it's right now Red Bull 1-2 between myself and my teammate of Felipe Dragovic here. Can we hang on to that 1-2? I think we can. We've got a very quick car, and this season we've talked about it now. Dragovic, hold on. He's going to go up my left side, try to make a move. I'm going to leave him the room. Of course, he is entitled to that space, but he's not able to capitalize on it. We stay ahead for the time being. Is he going to take a run at us? No, he is not. He stays put behind. In the background, there was actually some trouble. Jack Doohan on the run towards turn 1 hits the car in front of him and tears the front wing off his car. Things go from bad to worse. He comes in at the end of the lap to put on a brand new front wing there as we continue to drive away. Both myself and Dragovic putting a gap between us and Red Bull. Hamilton 3rd, Leclerc, Jackson 4th and 5th for Trackhouse and McLaren Toyota. But, I mean, back on the Albon subject, I mean, his best finish this season after tonight is still only going to be, I think, P9. Absolute disaster. And even when he's showcasing the pace that he's had before, he has a self-spin and he's out of the race now. And we saw him do something similar late last season, actually, in Abu Dhabi. Leading that race, had a self-spin, ruined it all for himself. And I believe he took George Russell with him, if I remember correctly there. So Albon's just really making a lot of mistakes recently here. And who's not making mistakes tonight? It's myself and my teammate, Felipe Dragovic here. In the closing laps, is trying to manage the gap to Dragovic. A slide into turn 10 there that nearly turned into a huge moment. It was enough of a moment to certainly, catch my attention and lose some ground to Dragovic, but fortunately we have enough pace in this car. We were able to keep the gap at bay at about half a second and actually extend it a little bit here to 6, 7, 8 tenths of a second again with these final 3 laps underway now as we continue to drive away. Hamilton looking like he's going to get a podium here tonight now. 2 laps to go at this point. The gap's still right about 8, 9 tenths of a second here. It wasn't really going much higher than that. I could get it to about a second, but that was really the best I could do. We are coming to the final lap in Bahrain right at 1 second. Dragovic does have some good speed here to start this final lap now as he can now close the gap down to about 8 tenths, 7 tenths of a second into turn number 1. But as long as we don't make a mistake, we should be okay. He is going to have a ton of battery to go through, but I got enough to go through as well. That will be okay now as I have a bit of a mistake here through starting sector 3, but it's not going to matter. What a night in Bahrain. Red flags, some wild starts. Albon with the self-spin. We take control late on the safety car, and here we are. The battle of the energy drinks continues, and it's going to be Red Bull getting 3 wins in 4 rounds. Win number 2 on the season here in the Bahrain Grand Prix. go, guys. Get in there, boys. We did it. This is an incredible team effort.
Yes, let's go, mate. Win 2 of many more this year.
Great drive, Gary. 10th to 1st tonight. Let's go celebrate a Red Bull 1-2 finish.
What a race here in Bahrain. I mean, we have had a really interesting start to this season. You think Silverstone, some chaos, some great racing, a great season opening race that we came out on top of. And then, of course, we went to Austria. Things didn't quite go the way we wanted it to, but there was some chaos there littered in. Zandvoort was kind of calm, and then we come here in another chaotic race. So it's been a wild start to the season, and it's, I think, really creating a story that's going to have to be followed all season long here now. I mean, we got the Battle of the Energy Drinks. You got Lewis Hamilton on podium here tonight for Ferrari. Verstappen and him last season, it arguably was surprisingly in favor of Hamilton, but this season Verstappen's been on another level compared to Lewis, although Ferrari really hasn't looked that great, but yet they've been kind of sneaking in some podiums. And Hamilton now on the podium here in Bahrain. It is nice to see in what sounds like it is going to be his final season officially in Formula One, just waiting really on official confirmation. Verstappen, we still don't know his future. He's talked about, of course, not wanting to stay in F1 forever. There really is some real potential that he is gone from that team at the end of the season as well. And now let's take a look at the standings here. We're on top by 6 over Dragovic, Russell down to 13 behind, Jackson Norris 4th and 5th, Albon down in P11. A lot of work to do there for him as we take a brief look at the constructors. 29 ahead of Mercedes, while McLaren down in 5th. I will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.